Kart 8!
That name, that title, and that shout. Hello everyone, Bray Scooter here, and welcome to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's really going to sound weird, but I've been plotting to, I like how I say plotting, I'm an evil mastermind villain. I've been plotting to do a series on this game for a little while, more or less as a chill, laid-back time for me, but also to talk about a lot of things with this game because as of a recent announcement, at least as of, well, not even as I recorded like two months before I started recording the series, Nintendo basically dropped a trailer for Switch 2 and said, oh yeah, here's the next Mario Kart. So I'm kind of starting the series now in a more or less a farewell to Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because this game, I'm going to call it duology, this game duology has been about for 10 years. And in those 10 years, I think the math works out to 60%, which has been existed for 60% of the time I've made content on YouTube. This game has been a constant in some variety. So I want to do a project on it to kind of just send it on its way out the door, close the books on it, and, you know, but more or less do it as a way to say farewell to what is quite possibly one of the most popular games ever made. Now, this is going to be kind of like what a lot of people do when they do these. I'm just going to focus. There might be like one or two bonus videos where I do something else. I'm still thinking of what I want to do for bonus videos. I think one would literally just be a battle mode showcasing some variety, but what everybody else does this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play through a Grand Prix, and I might do one or two of these on 200cc just to show this off, but I'm going to do it at 150. As you can tell by my track record here, this is not the best example of my skills with the game because I sort of started working on doing 150cc golding 3-starring on every circuit, and then the game kept getting DLC. But on the original Mario Kart 8, I have most of these gold trophies and 3 stars on that. Fortunately, doesn't mean anything. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm kind of going to play this in a style that I'm going to try to not use the same character constantly, but I'm going to random it up but then still like try and tune things so it plays to how I play, so I can at least still do decently. You follow me on that? Anyway, so let us talk about what is here and what's not here. This is the longest intro, I'm well aware. So in base Mario Kart 8, we had Mario. God, I gotta remember. We had Mario through King Boo over here on this roster, but God, what is it? Not including Tanuki Mario or Cat Peach, not including Shy Guy, and we had everybody else here, and it stopped at the Koopalings. And then DLC for Mario Kart introduced Link, the Animal Crossing people, and Inkling. Oh no, Inkling was in base Mario Kart 8, I believe. Deluxe added characters I haven't mentioned here, so Tanuki Mario, Cat Peach, I think Dry Bowser? I think, anyway, I could be wrong on that one. And added in, I think that's about it, and some Mii costumes. And then DLC, at some point, finally gave us these 5 characters going down the right side, these 3 here on the bottom right, and more costumes for our kart racer. So, of the, let me see, let's do some math. 8 by 7, yeah? No, 6. So 48. 48 potential racers. I'm going to just plug it into a random number generator and see what I get. Well, that's funny. It wants me to start off with Luigi. I literally put in 1 through 48 and it gave me 2 Luigi. So I don't have every single cart piece unlocked. In fact, what you see on screen here that's not with an exclamation on it is what I use for kart parts in every single time I race. I very rarely change out what I have, except for like a lightweight, heavyweight, that kind of stuff. So first things first is we're going to look at this stat spread, because this will kind of give you an idea of what you need. Y basically turns on steering wheel turning. I actually did motion control steering for Mario Kart Wii, and maybe if I eventually go back to Mario Kart Wii in the future, I'll showcase that more, but I'm not going to do that. Left bumper, smart steering. Smart steering basically makes it so no matter what you do, unless you really try really hard to actually do it, it will keep you on the track. The downside is you could not do the deluxe versions. I'm going to call it triple level boost. Third level boost, where you get a pink sparks, which gives you the best boost you can possibly get. So we're going to leave that off. And then you have auto forward. There's no detriment to turn. There's actually no detriment to having auto forward on or off. This is literally, you have a controller in your hand, you passed it to your 3-year-old nephew, brother, whatever. You pass it to your 3-year-old and said, here, play the game. Like, this configuration right here, actually, I'm going to do this. This configuration right here is what you would do if you're handing it to a little kid and say, okay, have fun, here's the buttons. And the only button they're going to hear is the attack button. So this is basically perfect for them so they can enjoy the game. Now, I will pick the character, like I said, I'm gonna leave random up to chance on what it picks, but I'm still gonna try and tool the character and karts to be sort of in line with how I play. Now, as you see the stats going around, I should probably talk about like what the stats mean and everything, right? Speed, that's pretty obvious. Maximum top speed. Acceleration, how long it takes you to get up to that top speed. Weight, if 2 karts ever clash, that basically determines who loses the battle and who gets pushed away more. If they're equal weight, the closer they are to equal weight, the more they'll just kind of like, you'll both lose, but like barely. Handling is how good your car turns, or how early you have to start your turn to make a turn, or how often you have to brake to make a turn. Traction, I think, now this one I'm not entirely 100% on. Traction is, well, obviously how well your tires grip the road, which goes into handling a little bit, but also will dictate your drifting, meaning how early you have to turn or start turning if you are drifting in order to get your maximum drift, or in order to drift around a corner. Now, what you see here, hold on, let me do this really quick. What you see here, this is roughly the handling and traction I play with constantly. I effectively like to play the game with bald tires. I love playing racing games like that. Whenever I do play a racing game for Think Fast, I always harken back to this exact picture right here. This is about my perfect stat spread for me playing, actually. Now I'm gonna kind of thumb through, at least to start off here. I'm gonna use what I would use normally, which, if I'm using Luigi, I would oddly enough use the Splatoon ATV, wherever the heck that thing is hiding. Where's the Splatoon ATV? Yeah, I would use the Splatoon ATV. Sliber Slicks, or just Slicks. Where are the Slicks? Because, yeah, the Slicks. The Slicks and the Sliber Slicks are effectively the same thing. I just like color. And then the Paraglider, which actually does... that affects your speed more than I thought it would. Weird. But yeah, this is kind of the stat spread I'll go with. I'll try and mix and match things. Now, the whole point of the series, and I realize I realize I should probably have started already, but I'm taking the time to explain everything right out the gate so I can just ramble like an idiot once I get into it. This first episode may be longer, but I'm going to do 1 to 2 cups per video, and my plan for the time being is I'm going to do a original course cup followed by a retro course cup. So with the fact that I've got all the DLC available, that works out to about 12 videos roughly. Not a super long series, but a series nonetheless. And then again, like I said, I'm kind of cooking up bonus video plans, but with all my rambling aside, let's go ahead and finally start with the racing. Now I'm going to go over buttons, even though everybody's played this game. I'm still going to go over buttons. A, gas. B, brake. Y is to check behind you, I believe. It's either Y or X checks behind you. Either the right bumper or the right trigger is your drift button. Left trigger or left bumper is your item button. Some items can be thrown both forward and behind you. I'll talk about that more when the items come up. But just with how everything's going to work here, we may not see everything. I've sort of got it. So, what I try to do is a start boost. It's somewhere around the 2-second mark where you want to do the start boost. Somewhere around there. Every game has its own thing. And as you can see, I'm kind of throwing things in front of me and behind me. Which, oh, it didn't hit me. Man, I gotta say, like, again, I'm gonna have stories and talk about things in this. But, well, let's use this track to discuss some minor intricacies of it. In Mario Kart Deluxe, they specifically introduced double items. Basically, you get 2 items. One of the very few things that was carried over from Mario Kart Double Dash. There's some tracks from Mario Kart Double Dash. We'll talk about those in time when we get the retro courses. Boombox. Introduced in Mario Kart 8 proper. This is the only item that can stop a blue shell. It can stop many other things as well, but it's the only item that can stop a blue shell. I really hope I don't front run, by the way. I really hope I don't front run this whole series, because that would kind of ruin the whole thing. Give me the level 3. Yes! So there's 3 levels of sparks in this game when it comes to drifting. And it's very simple. Blue is a short boost when you come out of the turn. Orange is a moderate boost. Pink is very close to a super mushroom boost. Which we will probably see super mushrooms at some point, because despite the fact I'm front running this, there is definitely going to become a point where I'm just going to get mollywopped. I lost all my items. Oh, that is a lightning. So lightning greatly reduces your speed, makes you small, of course, and it also helps even out the playing field, because the further you are, the closer you are to first place, all the way up to first place, dictates how long you're small. If you're in first place, you could spend half a lap tiny and slower. If you are in 11th place when that happens, oh hey, super mushrooms. If you are in 11th place when that happens, and 12th place did it to you, you're small for like 2 seconds. It basically just knocks the items out of your hands. That's really all it does to you. It's a great equalizer of sorts. Man, now playing Mario Stadium, like Mario Stadium is always the most basic of tracks. There's not a lot special going on with it. It's more or less to get you used to the game. Water Park, this track, like, there are people on both sides of the fence with this track. Both positive and negative. Plus and minus. You either love this track with all your heart, or you think it is the worst track ever made since GBA... I'm trying to think of what track it would be. Bye, Daisy. I'll catch up in time. One of the Game Boy Advance tracks is all I'm going to say. Coin. Oh, speaking of the coins, I never talked about them. So, coins. What coins do in this game, and kind of similar to the game. Oh, we're experiencing this for the first time. So what coins do for you, bump. What coins do is they give you more top speed. I don't know if it's equal to what you saw on the stats screen a minute ago, or if it is beyond what is on the stats screen. So when you're racing, biggest thing you want to do is basically collect up to 10 coins as quick as possible. Now, getting up to 10 coins when you're in first place, I think it does negate the coin item from appearing in your inventory. I'm not 100% on that, because when I race this game online, I'm very rarely in first place. Anyway, these anti-gravity sections, if you bump into certain objects or other players, you get a little speed boost. Not a big one, just a tiny one. Like, I think a blue or orange little speed boost. If anything hits you, you lose a few coins, and of course you lose all momentum, aka your top speed. I'll talk more about hang gliding when we got longer hang gliding sections. When you get coins, picking up coins does give you like the tiniest, and I mean the tiniest, most smallest of iota of turbo boost. We're talking like if you're going 60 miles an hour, 50 kilometers an hour, you're going up by what? Oh, great! There's a blue shell coming. you're going up by 1 kilometer or 1 mile per hour at best. Boost through it, dang it. And Mario Kart in the last track. Okay, well, I'm going to look behind me. What does Y do? Oh, Y reconfigures your everything. Okay, never mind. And Daisy took a shortcut. I don't know if I can rebound this in time. I'm not going for like a perfect record, but I'm going to make her upset. Have a fire flower. Have all this fire. Yeah, anti-gravity was the big gimmick in Mario Kart 8. If you're thinking, oh, it's the underwater stuff. No, the underwater stuff was the big gimmick of Mario Kart 7. I'm so surprised I didn't play that first, considering how I'm like one of the few people who defend Mario Kart 7 pretty heavily. Anyway, potato at this point. So I suppose hang on. But yeah, when this game, like, because it's the first video for this, and I probably will talk about this off and on while I talk about mechanics, and then we'll kind of just coast through it. By the way, this is one of my favorite tracks from base Mario Kart 8. I love this track. There's probably another one cover. I'll say it's my favorite, but I love Sweet Sweet Canyon, unironically. Also, I don't know the perfect timing for level 2 boost, but hey, my handling and traction are so low, I can literally turn right and go left around a turn. Hold this, Mario. Red shells, they home in on the person in front of you. If you can block red shells by holding out a banana peel, a shell, or other items that are held behind you. There are other items that are a little more dangerous to hold behind you, like a bomb. Well, that is almost a fuck you. Do not hold the bomb out behind you, thinking it will stop everything, and keep holding it behind you. Like, drop it early to block a shell. That didn't work. I avoided the lightning via invincibility frames. So that's another thing that you can kind of abuse in the game, and you can get lucky with, is using invincibility frames for their attack. So I didn't suffer the full wrath of the lightning bolt item, because I took damage from something else. Invincibility frames do kind of outweigh a lot of things. I suppose, I'm thinking back of it, I guess Mario Kart 7 did both underwater driving and the hang gliding segments. Oh, come on, give me one. Dang it. Well, this is gonna suck. Oh, hey, a mushroom on track. Get it. Bye, Mario. Bye, big bro. You suck at kart racing. Too bad your name is all over this thing. Yeah, give me an item. Damn it. Okay, it was after Mario. We're fine. We're safe. So when this game first came out, ironic, like this is gonna be this series might get a little sentimental at times. So this is your warning that this is going to be Unk. This is going to be Unk crying onto the internet, getting sentimental at times. So when Mario Kart 8 came out on the Wii U, it was probably the only reason to even own a Wii U at the time. I get no items for basically the last part of this track. Neat. When this game came out, I was probably at some of the lowest part of my life. Like no goofing, no joshing, none of that stuff. I need to talk about that mechanic before we get too much further. I was woefully unemployed, abusing credit cards, and I talked the story a couple times. Abusing credit cards to the point where I was basically getting the wrong phone call at the wrong time away from going to jail. Like, I was that bad about it. Like an idiot. Again, lowest, like I said, lowest part of my life. I was incredibly unhealthy. I only just recently got diagnosed with sleep apnea and a solution for it. And even then, I don't think I was fully embracing it. I think it was kind of like, whatever, I don't need to use it all the time kind of deal. And compounding with that sleep apnea and me being incredibly unhealthy, I mean that as in I barely got a boost off that. I mean that as in I was pretty close to 450 pounds. As of time recording, I'm closer to like 250, 260. So which doesn't sound that great, but then, you know, I have a wider frame. I have a wider, more muscular frame and not a petite frame. And I carry, and basically if I go anything underneath 230 pounds, I actually look anorexic. At 6'2", you need more weight on your bones, or you need more weight on your body or more muscle on your bones to not look like you're you're going to keel over tomorrow. And this kind of paints the picture of what's going forward. Like, I'm going to tell stories like this where, like, again, starting off with Mario Kart 8, I was at that point, and here I am now at this point in my life where I am, probably at the time this video releases, I am 100% debt-free. I no longer live in my parents' house, something that is actually kind of weird that now that I say it out loud, that I didn't finally move out of my parents' house until about 9 years ago, at least. And, you know, I'm able to just kind of do whatever I want when I want and not suffer the repercussions other than basically poor planning. Aha, block an item. Block an item. Block a shell with my shell. Take that, will you? Like, a lot can change in 10 years. Like, this, what we're playing right now, even though this is like the first 4 courses you would more than likely play on when you bought the game, a lot can change in your life in 10 years. Ah, crap baskets. Time it. I did not time that well at all with the coin. Well, that's fine. There's always one blue shell. Anyway, before I get more sentimental, let's talk about hang gliding. It's over. So hang gliding, it's basically like flying. You pull back to go up, you push up to go down. Left and right steers you around. And as we get to some later stages, we'll be zooming through there'll be like things in the air to try and aim for and zoom in the air. Now you can't like always pull back because you actually lose distance in the air if you constantly just keep pulling back, because if you're trying to go up but you have nothing to help propel you up, then you just kind of drop straight down instead of just coasting. So you kind of want to Mario World cape, I guess is a better way to put it. Do the Mario World cape thing where you kind of like go down, up, or slightly pull up back so you get a little more distance on your glide. And we're gonna watch this every single time. We're gonna watch this like once or twice because I don't think there's unique animations for everything. But the game, at the end of a cup, the game will kind of tabulate everything it saw over the last 10-15 minutes and be like, okay, what is the best track? What is your best race? What is your best track you raced on? Let's pull some highlights from that race to be like, oh yeah, here's what we think was your best performing track. Oh, I was off by that much? I missed it by 3 inches. But yeah, this is just kind of the thing we'll do. So this is the unique animation of literally what you did and played that got you your first. Yeah, again, your best performing track overall. Blunders included. I'll probably include those because I'm curious what the game, now that we have increased, like, better, I guess, recognition. Algorithm? Something like that. Now that we have a better way for the game to recognize what they think is your best thing, it'd be nice to see what the game thinks is my best track, especially on ones where I don't get a perfect 60 in all 3 stars. Now, the star rating, I believe, is dictated by how well your overall placement points are per cup. I think if you get 58 and higher, you get 3 stars. 57 to 50, you get 2 stars. And if you somehow still get first, but get under 50, it's 1 star. And if you don't get first, then you just don't get a star. You don't get a star rating at all. Those numbers are pulled out of my butt and probably are 100% not real. Anyway, let's do the other cup, because I did say I would try and do 1 to 2 of these in a video, and I think 2 of these in the video is the path I'm going to go with. So, random number generator. Who is it for this one? 42. I'm going left to right, by the way. I'm not going up and down by rows. I'm going by columns. I'm going by rows. So 42. So if this is 8, yeah, this is 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, Villager. So, unique thing with Villager. I should talk about this a little bit while I've got you here, because I'm really not going to have any other time to do this. I guess I could in the next video, but I'm going to talk about it now. So what we played with Luigi, was, other than Mario, is the most middleweight of middleweight characters. There are, in my opinion, and I could be mistaken on this, in my opinion, there are 5 weight classes in this game. It bumped up from like the 7's 3 weight classes. So, and again, my opinion, I think there's 5 weight classes. There is pure middleweight, so Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and a handful of other characters that you kind of would see it be middleweight. There's a couple that are surprises, like Ludwig is pure middleweight. Then you have your or you have your medium lightweights or your heavy lightweights, how you want to put it. So, characters like Peach, shoot, I can't think of anything. Bowser Jr., I think Diddy Kong, Inkling possibly, and there's a handful of others that are fit that build. And then there's super lightweights or featherweights, which would basically be like the babies. Oh, light heavyweight would be Koopa, I believe, and Shy Guy. I'm not gonna nail them on the head. Lightweights being like the babies, Lakitu, Dry Bones, Lemmy. You know, that's what you kind of work with. And then there's heavy medium weights, or I guess just, oh god, what, there is a term for it, and I don't know my weight class terminology to talk about this. But there's heavy medium weights. So characters like Brain will cycle over in a second. So characters like Waluigi, Link, I think Funky Kong and Donkey Kong. You know, characters like that. They're kind of like, they're just like the middle ground between medium weight and a pure heavyweight. And I think Wiggler falls in that heavy medium weight category. And then you just have heavy. Heavy is a class that is just, they will push people around. They are the big bruisers. Bowser, Metal Mario, Pinkle Peach. Why the hell are you here? Petey Piranha. And there's, and Morton or Roy. There's also your Mii. Your Mii will vary in weight depending upon mainly the height of your Mii. I may, if we don't get it before the end of this, I may just forcefully pick the Mii just to show off one costume. But your Mii will vary in weight based on what Mii you select, and also what the height of that Mii is. So like, I've got a handful of Miis that are tiny characters. I've got a handful of Miis that I got Mii, which is considered a heavyweight just because I'm stupid tall. And there's a couple in between that are medium heavyweights, medium lightweight, you know, all that range. Anyway, 42 Villager. Now there is a couple of characters in this that when you pick them, you get the option of choosing a color or an appearance. Oddly enough, a lot of people play as the female villager, so I will play as the male villager. This has no impact of what their weight class is beyond, you know, it's literally just an appearance thing. So whatever you see here is an appearance thing. It's like male villager, female villager, same weight class. I think they're medium lightweights. Let's look at this because I'm gonna try and change up things here and there just to kind of show off more. But let's just go with this. I'll use the basic pipe frame, and let's do a retro track. I like how I talked about the Wii earlier, and there's the Wii. Future videos in the series should go faster because I don't have to explain every little thing. I may still explain a handful of things when that comes up, but I'm not going to explain everything. Or I don't have to explain everything constantly. So after this, we kind of just go. Oh, Moo Moo Meadows. Beef Patty Pasture. Slamburger Station. We're making beef today. This track is much like Water Park. It's very much a super divisive course. Either people love it or they absolutely despise it. God, I'm going to have to get used to like new controls. It's still going to be roughly the same, but I'm still going to have to get used to my turning radius and how fast I go. Take this, Metal Mario. You're not taking that shortcut right away. Isabelle, you need to move. I wonder. No, I don't think this is the case. So I know in older Mario Karts, and I'm speaking as your uncle, Unc, as I said earlier. Speaking as your uncle, I know in older Mario Karts, there was, oh, I'm surprised that worked. Older Mario Karts, certain characters had dedicated rivals. Like, if you picked this character, your rival would always be this character, and they would always show up. Not so much the case anymore in Mario Kart 8, and maybe even Mario Kart 9, if they're going to call it 9, by the way. Where, like, you'll get, like, it'll randomly select 11 other racers that aren't you, and it'll give you a rival based on those 11 racers. Don't hurt me. Jump it. Can't do it. I like how I just got a lip balm in my hand like it ain't nothing. Like, just because of what it was back in the day. Which, by the way, when we get to the end of the series, I think I'll probably start using characters that are my favorite characters. I gotta think of like 3 or 4 characters that are my favorites or go-tos. So, I guess the last 4 cups I'll use my favorite characters. Maybe closer to that, if I don't get choices otherwise. Anyway. But yeah, like, again, older Mario Karts had very much... Oh, I gotta get to the finish line quick. I gotta get to the finish line quick before I get blue shell. Nice. And here comes the blue shell. Here comes the giant fist! But yeah, the rival... I just remember this because this is what I did with the Super Nintendo, and I think it matters at that point. Or it matters in that aspect. Like Super Nintendo, if you picked Koopa Troopa, your rival was always Yoshi, and vice versa. If you picked... I think it's if you picked Toad, your rival was always Peach, and vice versa. If you picked Mario, your rival was always Bowser. If you picked Luigi, your rival was always Donkey Kong Jr. Like, there were always... Because there was only 8 racers, whenever you picked a racer, you had your dedicated rival. In this game... Yes, like I said before, it'll pick 11 other random characters, minus me's. And it will just throw you all, it will take one character, at least for a little bit, it'll take one character, like, that is your direct rival. So that rival will, for the most part, always be second place to you, or always keep up with you. I should have tried to hold on to that. Anyway. Isabel, no. I'm cutting your pay! I'm cutting your pay! Wait, they actually went for it. Dang it. Okay, well now we get to see some more interesting items now at this point. And take a speed boost. Alright, excuse me, baby. I have some revenge to enact. But yeah. Really? And of course I get the coin. Timed that perfectly. Get this to get rid of the blooper. I'll talk about some of these other ones when I get a moment to talk about it. So rivals are a thing, but it's never going to be the same person every single time, unless you just get really unlucky. But anyway, we're on GBA Mario Stadium. The GBA game is like, personal opinion incoming. When it comes to good Mario Karts, the GBA and the Super Nintendo version having a disadvantage because it was the first one in the series. Those 2 games kind of fight for worst Mario Kart game. I will be 100% real with you. Don't get me wrong, the GBA game was really quite the marvel, considering it was a GBA game that kind of replicated how the N64 looked, for how Mario Kart 64 looked, almost to a T. So, I can't knock it that much, other than it controlled like bots. So, a mechanic I keep ignoring, and I think I should probably explain before I get too much further in overall. You kind of see me hopping to do drifts, yes. But also, when there's a bump in the road, any kind of bump for the most part, I just know what they are because I've raced on this online. I've raced this game so much with people. By the way, one of the most go-to DS tracks, made even better because we can go underwater. When you go over certain bumps or certain ramps, if you jump and you land from that jump, you get a speed boost. It's like a blue spark speed boost, I think, in terms of it. Like this one, that one is not it. And again, a lot of the stuff is just internalized, so a lot of the stuff is just internalized knowledge, so like I can't tell you what is or is not the boost. Just many hours playing Mario Kart 8 have driven me to understand and remember what is the speed boost areas. Now, I could go underwater. It's not really slower to go underwater. thanks to how things work. Jump it! Oh, it followed me in the air. But it's not necessarily slower, but there are a lot more pitfalls or things you get caught on underwater, so it's a little more dangerous to go in the water. I will still go in the water from time to time, but I prefer to... Nice shot. That's a Mii move. Oh, that's a bomb. Hold it. Did anybody... Nobody hit my banana. Nobody that matters hit my banana anyway. Like, I'll take it... Now that I have max speed, I'll go underwater. So, like, you can go underwater, no problem. I'm not even really losing speed, but there's a lot more to dance around. And there's also speed boosts to incentivize you to stay on the main level. Dump all these. Now. Haha. I got 9 coins from that. So there's a timing with blue shells where, like, if you time it perfectly, if you time the blue shell hit, if you time throwing the coin perfectly and you get hit by something, if you know the timing, you can basically give yourself... You're already running 10 coins, by the way. You can basically give yourself the coins before you lose the coins as an item. There's very little tricks like that, and this is kind of internalized knowledge that you just learn by playing this game forever. And again, I would love to learn... Yep. I would love to basically show you some shortcuts, but a lot of shortcuts you can take in these games hinge very heavily on the fact that you get... Get super mushrooms or something that increases your top speed for a period of time. I'm just gonna throw things behind me. I don't think I'll get stopped by a red shell. Here comes a red shell. Actually, they didn't get a red shell. So, just because of the nature of what we're doing here, until we get to later parts of courses that I've not touched, like, at all, we'll probably be front-running for a lot of this series. Then again, we're also on easier courses, too, so... And last track of the Mushroom Cup. What? Playing Mario Kart, a lot of things just kind of blend together in my brain. Toad's Turnpike. Turnpike, yes. Turnpike, rather. Toad's Turnpike. One of the goated N64 tracks. Like, it's literally just a figure 8, which I'm going to complain about figure 8 when we get to that point. It's literally just a figure 8 with cars, but it's goated. Also, the map. I gotta remember what buttons does. Is it minus? No, it's not minus. Oh, that is minus. So you can turn on and off the mini-map on the side if you want to. If you want it there or not. I leave the map on, even though I barely even look at it. It's a spectator kind of thing. But yeah, for Mario Kart 8, keep in mind, this was in base Mario Kart 8. For base Mario Kart 8, they added this anti-gravity section along the sidewalls, so you can have some fun. But there's still some fun to be had in the main road. Now, of course, because there are cars, and I don't know how much you've done your research on cars, but go-karts kind of lose the matchup to cars. So avoid cars. Granted, the N64 version is much harder. Some cars have surfboards on them. Trick off of them. There's also other cars that you can get onto, like this one right in front of us. That will give you a speed boost and a hang gliding section. Now, I did the timing wrong on this, of course. But if you manage to hit that car when you're at this section right here, you could, well, you can see the signs there say you can hang glide over the top of it. And you won't get penalized or fall into the beginner part of the track for a boon or a detriment. Man, I love having slick tires. I can literally if I do it like turning super early, and I could do it right where I can turn super early. But if I don't like how I start my turn, I can literally just pull right, and I'm literally going straight from a left-hand turn. Although when you get to orange sparks, your drift trajectory changes greatly. I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit the clip. I'm gonna hit a clip. I'm going up and over. I cannot fall here unless I get hit by an item. And then if that happens, I kind of get reset by Lakito. Ah, butts, we need to move. Get the pink sparks. I'm not gonna get the pink sparks here. No, not in time. Andrew. I mean, I'm front running. Holy cow, am I front running? So I can't be that mad, but still. Hey, look, a little coin for me. I'm not going to get in time, am I? Nope. Finally finished the race where I don't end with 10 coins. Which, I can talk about this while I was doing the highlight reel in a second. So, coins, at this point in my save file, coins mean nothing to me. Coins are literally just a stat that number go up. That's it. When you first start playing the game, coins unlock you additional cart parts, like the ones we're going to be shuffling through while we play here. So, like, when you first start the game, you have, like, 3 cart types to choose from. So you have the cart you have the cart, the ATV, and a bike. You have one of each cart type. That's it. So getting more coins gets you more carts types, more wheel types, more hang glider types. And there are a handful of things that I'm not sure if we'll see in this project, but you also get other cart types by doing certain things, like getting a certain amount of coins by racing online, getting gold trophies in every Grand Prix at either 150 or 200 cc and below. Which if you get a trophy at 150 or 200, no, it's just if you get a gold trophy at 150 cc, it gets you the trophies for 150 cc as well. So you have to go through that slog. But if you get gold trophies and all of that, you unlock not only a cart type, or you unlock a gold cart and other gold pieces, you also unlock gold Mario over metal Mario as an option. But with that, we reached the end of the first episode. Everyone, I do want to thank you all so much for watching the beginning episode of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Come back next time for more over explanation, more stories about this game and what it's done for me in my life, and more interesting tracks as we get later on into the game's life cycle. I'll see you folks then. Take care.